This video is brought to you by my new album entitled Dougal's Treats. It's full of hummable melodies, bluesy riffs and the occasional bit of virtuoso flashy stuff as well. If you enjoy bluesy rock guitar with memorable tunes and solos that wail like a banshee, then check out the links in the description. The premium version includes all of the tabs for each tune, videos and jam tracks as well. Thanks for listening. Now on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. I can't believe that it's 3 years ago this week, well 3 years ago this week as I'm recording this video, that I bought a certain new guitar. I'd just had a little bit of a drama with my health and I'd come through the other side of that unscathed, and I'd also had a bit of a chunky, a bit of a sizable bill from Her Majesty's, as it was then, Revenue and Customs, the taxman, not to put too fine a point on it. And it just got me thinking, well, yes, as I say, I've just had this little health scare and I've come out the other side of that. I want to give myself some kind of little pat on the back, some kind of reward for that being the case, for, kind of having, got through it. And also, I don't want another tax bill that's this size. And given that because I play guitar for a living, then I can, when I buy a guitar, it is it's classed as capital expenditure for the business, and it's tax deductible. So I spent the princely sum of £999 on one of these, a Gibson Les Paul Tribute. I imagined it was going to be, a high days and holidays kind of guitar, something that was brought out for special occasions. I never envisaged that it was going to become what it effectively is, which is now my main go-to guitar for all things. And just as a little celebration of this guitar, before I tell you all about it, because it's been fairly well documented on the channel what's gone on with this guitar, but I'm just going to summarise it and tell you what's happened to it since it arrived here 3 years ago. I'll tell you all about all of that sort of stuff once we've heard what she sounds like in a mix. And as always, you'll find a full tab for that piece of music in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it and a jam track to play along with yourself. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, link in the description. As I'm sure you know by now, it's $3 or about £3 a month, and you get access to all of these goodies that go along with these YouTube videos. And of course, a massive thank you to everyone who supports me in that, or any of the other ways, all of which are downstairs in the description. Yeah, as I said, I thought this was going to be kind of the guitar equivalent of a posh pair of, I don't know, Dolce and Chanel or whatever shoes that my missus used to own a few years back. She paid a king's ransom for them, and then when she used to go out to work, she used to take them to work in a bag whilst wearing a pair of trainers, or sneakers if you want to call them that, and then she'd change into these posh shoes while she was at work to wear in the office. You know, I said, well, you know, not really shoes, are they, if you can't wear them outdoors? You know, she did try and explain it to me, but you know, it was above my pay grade, I'm afraid. But that's how I was thinking of this guitar. Just, you know, save it for special occasions. But it has become something of a #1 instrument for the moment. I have a custom build guitar arriving, hopefully sometime soon. So we'll see if that if that usurps this and knocks it down to the silver medal position. The first thing that's happened to this guitar was that I had one of those Epiphone 59 Les Paul reissues. Not the most recent one, the one that came out, gosh, it's probably about 5 years ago now, or close enough anyway. But the one that had just the newer Epiphone headstock, not the full Gibson open book headstock. Anyway, I had one of those in to do a review of, and I was mightily impressed with one particular aspect of it, which were the burst booker pickups. And I was musing on the topic on one of my live streams, and a very kind gentleman from the Netherlands called Joshua, goes by I'm Not Creative, got in touch and said, yeah, I've got a pair of burst bookers, I'll send them to you. And they now reside in this guitar, and the 490R and 490T that come in this guitar were great pickups, but they've just got a little bit more, and I can't put it in any other way, but they've just got a little bit more woodiness to them. They just sound a little bit more open and airy, and insert lots of other words that people use when describing the sound of pickups. It is like trying to eat, you know, kind of soup with a fork out of a colander, trying to describe what a pickup sounds like. Basically, I preferred the sound of the burst bookers, and Joshua very kindly got them for me. Then another rather obvious thing, which some people have picked up on, is the scratch plate pickguard, whatever you want to call it. I like a Les Paul with. I know you're either a kind of with or without person when it comes to this little bit of plastic on a Les Paul. I'm very much a with person. I just think it's part of the overall look, and I like the way it looks. A Les Paul always looks a little bit undressed without one, I think. It doesn't get in the way of how I play, which some people, you know, kind of say that is the case with them, but it doesn't for me. Anyway, as you can see, the old golden rule, certainly in Robson Towers, is that no guitar whatsoever can be made worse by the inclusion of a tortoiseshell pickguard. It can only make it better. So, you know, I think about $5 on eBay, and you know, tortoiseshell pickguard looks so much better than that kind of slightly clinical looking, you know, hearing aid beige one that came with this guitar. Then I suppose the major surgery on this guitar was carried out by Agrajag Guitars in Middlesbrough, my local go-to firm, the chaps who are building me my custom build, as it happens. Jescar jumbo stainless steel frets. To some people, stainless steel frets make absolutely no difference at all, but to me, I'm addicted to them. I love the feel of them. I love the fact that it future-proofs your guitar. You're never, ever, ever going to have to spend money on having fretwork done ever again. They're just there and they're permanent and they never wear down. And as I say, I love the feel of them. For me, it's like the equivalent of going from dial-up to broadband. Yes, I'm giving me age away there, aren't I? People are going, what's dial-up? And then a very good friend of mine in the USA, retired NYPD cop called Joe, goes by the moniker Grandpa Joe on the live streams, keep your eye out for him, sent me this wonderful NYPD challenge coin, just as a gift, as a present, as a gesture of appreciation for these kind of videos that I put out. So at the same time as James at AgriJag was putting the stainless steel frets in, this little emblem, this challenge coin, got mounted in there as well. It's kind of sealed over with clear epoxy, and just doing that, you can't feel the join. It is absolutely, I think, beautifully placed in there, and it's just made this guitar mine. There is not another Les Paul like this anywhere to be found. Many, many years ago, I was a dyed-in-the-wool Strat guy. I used to think that, well, the Strat is the versatile guitar. Yes, it'll do anything. I mean, you know, kind of think of Ritchie Blackmore, think of Hank Marvin, think of Mark Knopfler, think of David Gilmour. All of these different players, all with unique sounds, and the reason they've got those unique sounds is because they play a Stratocaster. Les Pauls, love Les Pauls. I love the sound of them when I'm listening to Thin Lizzy or, you know, insert name of any other 70s classic rock band, but they are something of a one-trick pony, aren't they? And well, yeah, I actually honestly believed that for many a year until, you know, I kind of re-educated myself. You can do everything on a Les Paul. That piece of music that I was playing earlier, it was all on the vintage channel of the Blue Guitar Amp 1. You know, didn't use the clean channel, didn't use any of the higher gain options, didn't use the foot switchable boosts, nothing. It was all on the vintage channel of that amp. And, well, here's a little demonstration. You'll see I'm getting kind of clean and crunchy and then, you know, kind of ballsy lead sounds just by using the controls on the guitar and the pickup selector. And that is very much the way I like to do things. You know, I've got everything at my fingertips. I've got all of the sounds that I need, and I can just dial them in, and it's not like a binary kind of, it's this sound and then you hit the foot switch and then it's that sound. I can go from one to another and blend them, if you like, and I just feel like it's a more organic, for want of a better way of putting it, way of doing it. I know some people think that it's a massive faff around having to turn volume controls and tone controls and stuff, and they would rather have that sort of library of sounds at their feet. And I suppose there's an argument for that, and some people find it really kind of tricky to mess around with you know, controls on the guitar. I find it really tricky and incredibly tedious, I have to say, to do all that sort of stuff that you see guys like John Cordy doing, where he's you know, kind of delving deep into the menu of the latest Line 6 or Fractal you know, multi-effects amp modeler profiler kind of doobry what's it thing that would just confuse an old dinosaur like me into a standstill, and has done on many occasions. Granted, you know, I mean, if you're playing live and you need a different type of reverb or a different type of delay for this song or that song or another song, or maybe you know you've convinced yourself that you do, then you know it can be handy to have those things switchable down on the floor. But I just record the sounds that you heard earlier and just put the same. I think the only difference is when I'm playing lead, I have a little bit of ping pong delay on that I don't use on my rhythm guitar sounds, but other than that, and a little bit of same room reverb that goes on everything. You know, my needs in that regard are very simple, and I like to add them after the fact in the mix rather than record with them, because then you can't change your mind and it's printed onto the sound. So yeah, for me, this guitar, which as I say was bought as a little bit of a trophy, something to be brought out on special occasions, it's pretty much become the go-to instrument. It does clean sounds, it does raunchy kind of power chord, riffy kind of sounds, and big fat lead sounds. It does, you know, it's great for doing kind of funky chords, great for doing, you know, kind of cowboy chord strumming, providing you know how to navigate your way around this little matrix here. But once you get to the point where that is a second nature thing to do, the wealth of sounds that you can get from this kind of guitar for me is just unbeatable. And that's the video for today, folks. Just me reflecting on and having a little bit of a celebration of the guitar that was never intended to be my number one go-to instrument, but has somehow managed to become so. Let me know what you think. Have you had a similar Damascene conversion from one type of guitar to another during your years playing, or are you still kind of very much in the groove that you were in 20, 30 years ago, whatever, you know, however many years ago? Has a similar thing happened to you? Let me know in the comments. But that, as I say, is it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video and found it entertaining in some small way. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. Beer and chat is basically the order of the day. It's a great way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.